Hi everyone, welcome to English with Aga. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the most surprising or shocking things that people find in the UK when they come here for the first time. If you're a native speaker watching this, I'm talking a little bit slowly in this video because I want my subscribers who are learning English to understand me. Before we start, subscribe to my channel and get your free English grammar booklet from the video description. Are you ready? Let's get started. So when you first come to the UK, there are different things that you will find shocking or surprising because they're different to how things work in your country. I am sure that you've already seen the two taps that people have in their bathrooms, one with hot water, one with cold water. You've probably also seen the washing machines in the kitchen. Yes, I know in a lot of countries they're in the bathroom, but in the UK they tend to be in the kitchen. I am sure you've seen the sockets that you have to switch on with a little button next to it. And you probably also know that you are very unlikely to be able to blow dry your hair in the bathroom because bathrooms don't tend to have sockets in them. But what else is there? So the first thing I want to talk to you about is tea. When people say tea, they don't always mean the drink. Often what they mean is a light meal in the afternoon. Some people call it dinner, other people call it tea. Have you had your tea yet? It means, are you still hungry or have you already eaten something this afternoon? Tea is not the same as lunch. Lunch is usually about 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, but tea is usually about 4 or 5 o'clock. But when you hear people talk about afternoon tea, they're not talking about the same thing. Afternoon tea is a concept in itself. It's a meal that is usually made up of tea, the actual drink, some little sandwiches, and cakes or scones. So when you ask for afternoon tea, that's what you'll get. The next thing that can be a bit shocking to somebody coming to the UK for the first time is that often when you get fish and chips, it's wrapped in paper. But that's fine. It looks a bit weird, but it's fine. You'll get used to it. The next thing are bank holidays. A bank holiday is a day that you usually don't have to work on. And yes, banks are closed, but a lot of other things are closed as well. So it's not just about banks, even though it's called a bank holiday. If you work in an office and there's a bank holiday coming up, you won't be working on that day. A lot of things stay open, such as cafes and restaurants and cinemas, but a lot of businesses actually close on that day. Some bank holidays are linked to national festivals or celebrations, such as Christmas Day, for example. But others don't really have a reason. It's just a day off, like the early May bank holiday or the late May bank holiday. There's no reason why it's a day off. It just is. The next thing you might find surprising when you come to the UK is on the 5th of November, you will hear lots of fireworks. It's because it's Guy Fawkes Night. I'm probably going to make a separate video about this to explain this tradition, but don't be surprised if you hear lots of fireworks on that day. The next one is pub quizzes. A lot of people in the UK like to go to the pub to do a quiz. It's just a fun activity that a lot of people like to do. You go to a pub, you join a team, and there's a quiz that a lot of people in the pub take part in. So usually there's questions about popular culture or history or music, and each team tries to answer them correctly. There is also a winner at the end. Another thing that people find surprising is when they come across Yorkshire pudding. A Yorkshire pudding is not a dessert, even though it's got the word pudding in its name. Yorkshire puddings are just pieces of pastry that are part of a traditional English Sunday roast, which is a traditional type of dinner that people like to have on Sundays. Usually, it's made up of meat, potatoes, and vegetables. There is a Yorkshire pudding on the side, and everything is covered in gravy. It's so good. The next thing that might be confusing when you come to the UK for the first time is chips. Chips and crisps are not the same thing. Chips are the chunky pieces of potato, and the thin ones are actually called French fries. The next one is the word sorry. British people really like to apologize. They just want to be polite. So often, if you bump into somebody, they will actually say sorry. Yes, when you bump into them. The next one is being asked if you're all right. Often when you meet somebody and say hello, they will ask you, are you all right? And it's not because you look ill or because there's something wrong with your hair. It's just a polite greeting that people use. It's the equivalent of saying, how are you? And the final one is accents. Even if you're fluent in English and you speak it really well, you can understand it really well. When you come to the UK, you will notice how many different regional accents there are. And you might be surprised because you won't be able to understand some of those accents straight away. Often it's not just the pronunciation, but also the intonation that's very different. And it makes it really hard for somebody to understand it when they haven't heard it before, if they're a non-native English speaker. So when you practice your listening skills as a non-native English speaker, make sure that you try and look for those different regional accents as well. That way, when you visit the UK, you will be in a better position to understand everyone straight away. I hope you found this video useful. Tell me in the comments, what is the most surprising thing for you in this video? And I'll see you next time. Bye!